We're here with Kirby, owner and operator of Kinetic Edge. You have a pretty extensive history. Go ahead and let people know what your background is, and then we'll go with that. And then, why Kinetic Edge? Where did the idea for Kinetic Edge come from?
Okay, my background, hell, I've been around for about 100 years because I'm about 80 years old. So, I started as a power lifter myself when I was young, and just kept lifting heavy weights, and went into the military. I was a special fitness instructor for the military, and from there, I landed in Colorado, and was training power lifters and bodybuilders. A lot of very specific type training for football players and that kind of a thing. And, always been around combat sports. I was a wrestler and did some fighting in New York, which obviously anybody who knows anything about fighting knows that was illegal. So I made my money off bets. It was, and the guys I fought were nothing like the fighters of today.
You're no Kimbo Slice, though, right?
No, I'm a hell of a lot prettier than he is.
Exactly.
And so I love combat sports. Too old to get involved in it, myself. If I got in the cage, I'm sure something would fall off and I couldn't grow it back. So I get involved where I can. I'm not a great trainer as far as skills. Even though I understand a lot of the skills, I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who conditions these guys.
Why can't I just go ride my bike or run or something? Why do I need all this to get me in shape? I mean, I can run and I can have cardio.
The funny thing is that a lot of people just really don't understand the concept of functional training and training very specifically for a sport. This sport here is really new. What are we, 15, 16 years in formally? So we're looking at a really new sport. I got involved. I was real fortunate. I worked for a company called Free Motion Fitness, who had a partnership with a guy named Juan Carlos Santana. Juan Carlos has been doing functional training for years on other athletes, and then he began to train fighters. He was working with Marcus Aurelio and Jeff Munson and several others. And he came up for a business visit, and we got talking. And kind of from there, I changed everything, the way I do everything. We don't do typical road work. Everything we do is based on a round, whether it's a 5-minute round, a 3-minute round. We'll do more and more rounds. So it's very specific. I don't care if a fighter can run 100 miles. I don't care if he can run a marathon. I don't care if he can climb a mountain. My goal is to get a fighter to fight 3 or 5-minute rounds, 4 3 rounds or 5 rounds, depending on what type of fight they have. And I'm absolutely confident in the guys that we train. And if they work with us, they're winning. If it goes to the 3rd round, you're through. I don't care who you are. That's a little bit arrogant, and I talk a little shit, but I'm good at it. Good at talking shit. And I'm fairly good at getting fighters ready for the cage. I watch other people gas. I watch time and time again. I go to these fights and I watch guys get in there. They look real good. And bam, they run out of juice.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them are in phenomenal shape. So it's not that they're not conditioning, it's that they're not conditioning right.
Not conditioning to that sport. I think that's important. I think that makes sense. So, I'm sitting over there looking at him, and he just got me off track.
Well,
tell me about, I want you to just go over what we saw today. I got some video. I want you, just explain the different way you went through things and how you run this, so that if there's some fighters out there, they can, wow, that's something I want to get involved with. Give me a more specific thing about your stations and how you went through that.
We change it up a lot. We change it up on purpose because, we don't want our bodies to adjust. We do want to, we want to train your mind, your body, even your neurological system. You want things to happen automatically. You train a certain amount of time between rounds. I want a fighter who's fighting to get anxious. Those guys are really something, aren't they?
Oh,
I want to whoop off in their ass. When we're done with this interview, we're going to run laps. But, so what we did today, we're working on 3-minute rounds. So we have stations. We run a station for 30, 15, whatever, how many seconds it is for a full 3 minutes. The idea is the fighter has to change. He has to keep changing. He has to keep changing what he's doing. So he has to think about what he's doing when he's tired. So we get upwards of 10, 12, or more rounds, or we're doing 3-minute rounds, keeping the intensity level as high as we possibly can. I'm absolutely confident in these guys. I think if people identify the guys that we work with, they see that in the later rounds our guys are fresh.
Awesome.
And strong. They're not tired in 3 rounds. 3 rounds is not going to make these guys tired. Getting hit might get old if someone's beating on them, but that's up to the guys in the dojo to train those guys.
Right.
That's not my gig.
Well, I was here. I was definitely impressed, and I don't think any of these guys are going to be gassing, that's for sure. What else do you want to tell the public and let them know a little bit more about Kinetic Edge?
Well, we've got several fighters that we work with right now, and they train at several dojos in town and other towns. We're not specific to any dojo, although we do have a loyalty, and we're part of the Pacific Warrior family. But we train fighters from other dojos as well. As long as you're not fighting one of our guys out of Pacific Warriors, glad to have you come around, glad to get you in shape for your fight. We'll have a lot of fun. The problem, I think, a lot of times is that people, one, don't understand the necessity for this type of training, and two, people get a little territorial and they're afraid of me hijacking their fighters or whatever. Trust me, I don't want your fighter. I would like to see your fighter get into the 3rd or 5th round and polish somebody off because they're not tired, though.
Sounds good. MMA Buzz. Don't forget
MMA
it.
Buzz.
All right.